Jojolion Chapter 98 just dropped, and you know what that means? It's time for a new chapter review. I wanted to quickly say a massive thank you to everyone who has watched my videos and subscribed to the channel. Recently we hit 100 subs, which was crazy, but we've already jumped to over 250. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. I'll continue to release the content you love and more in the future. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and pursue that subscribe button, but don't worry, no calamity will befall you. I reread the previous chapter to get a reminder of what happened, and after reading chapter 98, one of my theories about Satoru and Tohru has basically been confirmed, although not elaborated on. I'll discuss that later when the time comes. Looking at the cover page here, it's a nice split down the middle shot of Mamazuku and his stand doggy style alongside Yasuho and her stand Paisley Park, which doesn't actually appear in this chapter at all. And on the right we see Josuke and the mysterious Tohru. Already looking at this, we can assume that Josuke would be the more central figure of this chapter, considering we haven't really seen him properly for 5 to 6 chapters. The first page shows the head doctor and Rai continuing their journey up to Wu Tomoki's lab to meet Josuke. The head doctor seemingly doesn't notice Mamazuku, nor does he notice a glass window until he sniffs it? That's when he confidently phases his body through the glass and continues on his way. Now this strikes me as a bit odd because in my Shinigami theory video, I speculated that the head doctor is nothing more than an illusion created by Tooru Stand. An illusion that could appear anywhere stalking its targets and also phase into walls and other objects. However, the head doctor on this page seemingly collides with the window, not noticing that it is there at all. It seems that he's on autopilot. Picture a rocket in Crash Team Racing. Once you fire a rocket, it homes in on the racer in front of you, but if the racer turns a corner, that rocket follows the trajectory of the racer and cannot detect walls or objects in its way. It then collides with the wall or object, ending the pursuit. Satoru appears to be locked on to Josuke in the lab, and is going in a straight line from point A to point B, almost like he is blind and he is just walking straight to point B. It has been stated that this stand is a long-range automatic stand, presumably controlled by Tohru. Mamazuku notices the head doctor also collides with a pillar in the center of the lobby area. This time Satoru phases into the reflective pillar, similar to how he did in the Higashikata house a few chapters ago, where he phased into the reflective surfaces. Even though he is in the reflective pillar, the head doctor is able to mount the escalator, leading Mamazuku to turn round and notice that the head doctor is actually on the physical, real escalator on the other side of the room. It seems that this head doctor thing, I'll just call it an illusion for now, can enter reflective surfaces and interact with anything inside that reflection, then turning it into reality. In a way, this could possibly be labeled as some sort of teleportation. It also reminds me a bit of the Hanged Man's ability of entering reflective surfaces in part 3. Mamazuku realizes that Satoru is definitely heading towards Josuke's location in Wu Tomoki's lab on the 3rd floor, so taking the stairs, he speeds up, attempting to beat the head doctor there. They both make it to the 3rd floor at the same time, and once again Satoru bashes his face into a wall and again phases through. As the head doctor phases through the reflective wall, Mamazuku makes a break for the lab door, and he finally sees Josuke sitting down surrounded by the mess he had created multiple chapters back. Also, just as a quick reminder, Mamazuku is not receiving calamity attacks right now from the head doctor because of 2 reasons. 1, he is not technically pursuing the head doctor right now, so the ability is not activating. And 2, the head doctor is locked onto Josuke right now. We can assume that this body of Satoru is the main stand body, whereas the versions of the head doctor we've seen at the Higashikata house and at the prison are illusions created by the effects of Tooru Stand. Mamazuku warns Josuke that the head doctor will be here any second and questions why he is doing nothing but sitting comfortably on a chair. Now we switch back over to the Higashikata house, where we again see Yasuho struggling for breath. Tohru explains what a calamity is, stating that even if walked on by a saint who makes no mistakes, it is unavoidable that bad things will sometimes occur. That is calamity. If it wasn't obvious enough last chapter, this page proves that Tohru is the user of the calamity stand that has been plaguing the crew. Tohru knows that the calamity that befell Jobin has taken effect, and states that he can now finally go and get the new Rokakaka from Jobin's presumably dead body. He's shown climbing down from the tree line and starts making his way to the back door of the garage, right near where Yasuho is laying and dying. We flip back to the TG University Hospital, where Mamazuku explains to Josuke that the man approaching the lab has been the stand all along. This is where Josuke seems to enter badass mode. At this point, he is just so determined to save Holly that he does not even appear to feel fear or worry of any kind. He is confident that he understands the stand ability and states that he plans to destroy the stand itself. In JoJo, this has been an answer in many stand battles involving long-range enemy stands. Defeating the stand, in turn, will defeat the user. I feel like this battle will not be the end of Akefu Satoru, as if he is defeated, then so will Tohru. And I believe a face-to-face showdown between Josuke and Tohru will definitely have to happen at some point, and I'm pretty sure it's actually coming very soon. Josuke here states that there is a way to defeat the pursuit stand of Tohru, and as he states this, we see Satoru appear out of the wall, taking the appearance of the stand we saw in previous chapters. The theory about Satoru and Tohru I spoke about earlier in the video is a theory which many people had in mind after the last chapter, which is that Satoru was the stand of Tohru. This theory seems to be confirmed to be true as of this chapter. Mamazuku states to Josuke that even if he moves an inch off that chair, nothing in this world, including heaven and earth, as well as the connections between them, will be on his side, and really does make the enemy stand seem almost impossible to defeat. It's a common theme with JoJo main villains to have them have an almost unbeatable stand, so I'm really curious how Josuke knows of a way to defeat it. In response to Mamazuku's statement, Josuke releases a soap bubble and explains that he does have something that exists within the connections between heaven and earth, and that is his stand, soft and wet. Josuke also refutes Mamazuku's statement that nothing will be on his side, and explains that he has Mamazuku and Yasuho on his side. Since this stand has no confirmed name as of yet, I'm just going to be referring to it as Akefu Satoru. We see Satoru approaching Mamazuku and Josuke, and we finally get a good clear look at its face. It definitely appears to have the sun symbol from Toru's outfit for eyes, plus has the spikes on either side of its face, similar to the head doctor in its human appearance. Mamazuku and Josuke prepare their stands ready to attack. Satoru notices something wrong before putting a step down on the ground. Noticing the soap bubbles in the air, he retracts his foot back into the wall. We get a glimpse of Tohru exclaiming that something seems odd in the lab, indicating that he has a constant link to the stand from that distance. Meaning when the stand was traveling to the lab, Tohru may not have been totally linked to it. He may have just given it an order to go to the lab, however, now he is completely linked to it, making the stand less automatic and more controlled. Tohru seemingly realizes that it is Josuke in the lab, and because something seems wrong, he vanishes. Yasuho realizes someone was there a second ago, but are now gone. So instead of going for the new Rokakaka in the Higashikata house, it seems Tohru has left the grounds to go back to the hospital to face Josuke directly. Next we see someone who hasn't had a good amount of screen time for a little while, Higashikata Joshu, holding the new Rokakaka plant pot. He's in tears and tells Yasuho something terrible happened indoors. This is in reference to Jobin's presumed death in the previous chapter. Joshu brings the new Rokakaka outside to where Yasuho is and states he is going to help her. We haven't had many big Joshu moments so far other than in the Shakedown Road arc and the Milagro Man arc, and seeing as Jojolion appears to be reaching its climax, it seems Joshu may get a big moment in the next few chapters. It looks like he may go to use the new Rokakaka on Yasuho, fusing parts of his body with hers to save her life, like how Josefumi did with Kira, merging them together. This would undoubtedly save Yasuho's life, but would in turn most likely kill Joshu. Now, he took the new Rokakaka from near Jobin's presumed dead body, yet he didn't use it on his own brother to save his life. He is so infatuated with Yasuho, and probably hates his brother for what he has done to their father, that he will most likely go to use the new Rokakaka on Yasuho, trading his life for hers. This precursor to the action has made my estimations of Joshu rise up quite a lot, as I wasn't overly fond of him before. Satoru takes the form of the head doctor once again, refusing to step on the floor, questioning who will pursue him first, Josuke with his soap bubbles, or Rai with his doggy style. Satoru exclaims once again that something seems strange about the room, and questions if there is something he can't see that he might step on that would be detrimental to him. On this page we get one of the coolest yet weirdest panels of the head doctor so far, where he appears to be half in his stand form and half in his human form. This shapeshifting may well just be a part of the long-range illusion creating ability that this stand appears to have. It's safe to say once all the details of the stand have been shown, I'll definitely do a stand analysis video on it. Satoru says the bold statement that he has obtained the new Rokakaka. This is an obvious ploy to trick Rai and Josuke, as we, the readers, previously saw that Tohru had disappeared from the Higashikata estate area and Joshu had the new Rokakaka. Satoru takes what appears to be a flat sushi rolling mat out of his pocket and places it on the ground, fusing it into the floor itself, instead of Satoru actually having to walk in the room. He claims he wants to avoid a calamity affecting him now that he has obtained the new Rokakaka. It appears the thing he fused into the floor has some sort of weird insect limbs. The creature appears to be traveling under the floor towards Josuke and Rai's location. This allows Satoru to attack them whilst staying off the ground himself. The creature is identified by Rai as a living creature which has flattened and melded with the floor. It appears to create some sort of structure near Josuke and Rai, which seems to move very oddly, creating some sort of crane structure with the pieces of the sushi rolling mat. This strange structure uses the wire attached to it to send a piece of the rolling mat straight at Josuke's neck. Josuke defends himself with an attack we haven't seen in a little while, the classic Joestar Aura Stand Rush, whilst also planting soap bubbles on the pieces of the structure. The soap bubbles pop, seemingly doing damage to the creature. The creature retreats into the ground again, but it seems Josuke took damage during the attack. Satoru explains that there are many undiscovered insects in nature, and that the creature that attacked him is indeed a living insect. He claims Josuke's attack on the creature was classed as a pursuit, and that is why Josuke took damage during the stand rush. So it seems that the calamity affected Josuke even if he did not directly attack Satoru himself. Satoru explains that the creature is a rock insect named... Oh god, I'm gonna sound so stupid saying this out loud, but the rock insect is named Di-do-do-do-di-da-da-da. Yeah, I'm not making that up. Honestly, I love the fact that Araki uses a lot of musical references for the names of his stands and characters, and using the Police song of the same name is pretty awesome, but it's just so awkward to say it out loud. I think if I was Josuke and Satoru told me the name of the rock insect, I'd probably burst out into laughter. The final page of the chapter shows Josuke stating that Satoru's attacks have all been attempts to get Josuke and Rai out into the open. He accuses Satoru of lying about already acquiring the new Rokakaka, to which Satoru stays silent. Rai realizes this silence is an obvious answer that Satoru indeed has not yet acquired the fruit. The chapter ends with the text, and now they probe each other's intentions. I really enjoyed this chapter as we finally got some more answers regarding Akefu Satoru and Tohru. Here's what we have learned so far. Number 1. Akefu Satoru is in fact the stand of Tohru. Number 2. Satoru can lock onto targets from a faraway distance and automatically move towards them. Number 3. The stand is seemingly mindless until Tohru focuses on the actions of the stand, which then allows him to fully control it consciously and talk through it. Number 4. Satoru can swap between the humanoid form of the head doctor and the artificial stand form freely. Number 5. Tohru has abandoned the Higashikata house grounds to move towards the hospital and did not acquire the new Rokakaka. Number 6. Satoru can bump into physical objects as if it was a physical body, but then it can use its ability to phase through. Number 7. Satoru can traverse through reflective surfaces and somehow interact with the objects inside that reflective surface, making it a reality, such as when he walked onto the reflection of the escalator, and when Rai turned around, Satoru was on the real escalator. This chapter made me much more curious about Tohru and also the limits of the stand. I am also really concerned for Joshu and Yasuho. I get the bad feeling that Joshu will die so that Yasuho may live. Like I said before, this sentiment has brought Joshu up in my estimations a lot more, and if he goes through with it, will actually make me like him as a character. Although, I would like to think Jobin is also alive. It's possible that Jobin was alive in the hallway, and he's been patched up by the family, and that is why Joshu is going to use the fruit on Yasuho instead, because he knows Jobin will live anyway. However, I'd like to think that Joshu realizes his brother's foul intentions and recognizes that he's a bit of a dick. Plus, Joshu is obviously in love with Yasuho. I'd be really sad if Yasuho died here, but I also don't want Joshu to die either. We won't know the answer to these questions until the next chapter releases a month from now. The wait is gonna kill me. If you enjoyed this video, then it'd be great if you could leave a thumbs up on it down below, and maybe even subscribe to keep up with regular uploads and stand analysis videos. What did you think of chapter 98? What do you think will happen to Joshu and Yasuho? Write me a comment down below to let me know your thoughts. I thank you for watching, and until next time, Bizarre Star Platinum out.